Mackerel for Donald Mackerel Gaming. Got a bit of good news and bad news on this video. We're going to start with the good stuff, but it's all about... I did a car boot sale today in a little place called Mark Wheel. I'd had a few issues at a big one called Chirk, where there was a lot of thieves. I moved to another one called Whittington, where there was less thieves, but there was still a couple. I did a tabletop sale, that was fine, it's just there wasn't much customers. And I thought, do you know what, this seems like a nice little village in the middle of nowhere, Mark Wheel. I'll try that, and I've got to say it's going to be my last ever car boot as a buyer or a seller. We'll start off with the positive stuff though. After I'd done my car boot, I did have a little bit of a whiz round. I picked up some stuff. I'm going to show you what I picked up now. None of them really are bargains, but it's just I picked bits up for myself. We're going to start off with films because, hooray, this got a couple of Blu-rays for 50p each. Got Red Riding Hood, the alternative cut. I think the missus are going to enjoy that. And something called Suck Vampires Rock, which seems to have lots of like old rock stars in it, and seems to be a cheesy horror film. So yeah, Alice Cooper, Iggy Pop, Henry Rollins, Moby. Don't know why it's not a rock person. Malcolm McDowell, Jessica Perrin, Rob Stefaniuk. I don't know, but yeah, it seems to have a few sort of like rock people in it. So yeah, I might enjoy that one. And even if not, it's 50p. What does it matter? The next couple that I picked up were steelbooks. So they were £2 each, and I know they're not worth... Well, the first one definitely isn't worth £2 each. I've just never seen it, and it looked cool. The Company of Wolves. Don't know. Say a nice little steely there. So I'll give it a watch. I don't know if it's scary or whatever. Oh, it says something to do with Little Red Riding Hood. Okay. Oh, cool. So, yeah, I might enjoy that. In fact, I get a Red Riding Hood film. Yeah. Red Riding Hood, and they're the Company of Wolves. I could compare the two. I picked this up, Steelbook of Band of Brothers. It's missing the slip that goes outside of it, but it's complete other than that. So that again was £2. I don't know, is it worth it? I don't know, I've just never seen it. I've heard it's really, really good. So for £2, brilliant. And we'll finish on the 3 games I've got. This is what... They wanted £4 for Midnight Club Los Angeles. I managed to get him down to 3. And it was like... Even that to me is far too expensive for a car boot. This is what people do now. They just CEX them and go, that's how much I want. Yeah, they're all reasonable condition, but you can even see this one's come from CEX. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. He wanted £3 for that. I tried to get him down to 2. He said no, so that is a £3 one. Really not worth it. Not worth it at all, but, you know, it's neither in there. I didn't want to come home empty-handed. And this one is the classics version of the Xbox 360 version of Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. So I've already got it. It's just that one was only... no, that one was £3 as well. I was going to say, I thought it was £2. But all of his original Xbox games were £2. They were all poor. This is one of the only buyable 360 games he had. And he wanted £3 for that. And again, couldn't haggle him down. So that's what I've got. So I suppose it's good. I've got some stuff. Yeah, that's the positives. Let's get on to the negatives. So, YouTubers, we're ruining it. We're ruining car boot sales. Literally, all I had. So, at the entire... My stuff is priced fairly. My stuff is priced that if you want a CEX voucher, you can pick my stuff up, take it straight down to CEX, and get a return on the voucher. So, if that's all you want to do, is get vouchers to go and buy games for yourself, do that. I don't want to use CEX, so that's how I price it. I take their sale price, sorry, not sale price, I take their trade in for a voucher price, I lower it slightly, and I stick them on my stall. And even then, sometimes I'm open to negotiations, you know. As long as it's worth more than the cash price at CEX, I tend to sort of go, yeah, that'll do. No, everybody was just scanning them, and if CEX would give you like 10 pence in cash, they'd offer you 5 pence. It was blooming awful, absolutely awful. I was trying to give DVDs away, and people seem to be offended by that. Like literally, I was like, "Oh, if you buy one of them, you can have any DVD." I don't want that. Like literally, I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get in trouble. But they're like, "I don't want to buy that," and you go, well, "I'm not." But it's free. Just if you don't have to, it's just because you want to buy something. If you do want to buy something, you can take some of this. But Yeah, really grumpy. There's a guy that came to look at. I was doing PC big box games. Again, I priced them all up on eBay because CEX don't tend to take them, I don't think. So yeah, priced them all up on eBay, and let's just say if on eBay it regularly sold, I'd always go for the lower end. If it was regularly selling for like 10 quid, I'd put them on for a fiver. So again, it's the whole, if you want to take these and you want to stick them on eBay, and I ain't got the patience to do it, you can double the money that you're going to make. Yeah, guys would just turn up. Not they couldn't scan it, but they just sort of look at it, search it, every single blooming one, search it, and people would watch somebody search it. They'd watch him open it up, check every single bit of it, put it all back together, and then go, "You take a pound." It's like, no, I'm not going to take a pound, fiver. I think that's a fair price. And then somebody else would then have watched that guy open it all up, look at everything, scratch away with your finger on the back of a disc, and then they go, "You take a pound for it." It's like, oh my god. The guy on the stall next to me was sort of laughing, but at the same time was going like, "Mate, it's like this every single blooming week now. It's like this every week." They just get the phones out, they scan everything, and they think they're going to get like the world's best deal, and then they're going to go and put it on their bloody YouTube channel, like what I've just done. But instead of going like, "Oh, I paid £3 for that. I think it's all right, I think I've got the classics version. That's great." They'll be going like, "Paid 20p for that. Paid 20p. Threatened to stab a bloke's family to death. It's great." But no, it was honestly one of the most horrible, demoralising experiences I've ever had. Not all of it. There were some lovely people that came to my stall, and like I was selling PS1 games for £5 each, and they'd go like, "How much?" And you go, "Oh yeah, as it says on the label, every single PS1 game, £5 each." And they go, "Oh, cool," and they might pick up two and go, "Will you do like £8 for them two?" And I go, "Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, take them." So that was nice, but it's few and far between. The vast majority were people like resellers, proper scummy resellers, just trying to rinse everybody, and it's horrible. Like trying to look around as I was trying to put my stuff out. They were trying to look around in my car, and you're like, "Do you want to F off? Like, not all this is for sale, mate. Do you want to get out of my face?" The guy next to me, he said the last week he did one with his 10-year-old daughter. And somebody was trying to intimidate his 10-year-old daughter. Was like, "Oh, I'll help, Dad." They were trying to intimidate the daughter and go, like, What you got? What you got?" And literally had to go, "Get away from her, you weirdo. Get away from my daughter. Jesus. Like, are you a big man? What are you thinking?" So that was really, really bad. I didn't like the setup. I didn't like the fact that people just have no manners, just ridiculously rude. I don't like the fact that people are there scanning everything, thinking we haven't already done it. I mean, are you that thick? Are you that thick? If there's somebody who's just got a stall full of computer games, do you think he hasn't scanned them? One guy came up to me, a quite obvious reseller, walking around with his bloody IKEA bag that he'd nicked. Walking around, just comes up to me and goes, "Is this all junk?" And I was like, it's all priced fairly. It's just not for reseller rats like yourself." And he went, "What? What do you mean by that?" And it was like, well, look, if you're going to come to me and be rude, I'm going to be rude back to you. Don't get surprised with it. And again, the guy next to me laughed when I said it. But the bit that I really, really want to point out, and it's to anybody who's thinking about doing car boots, I mentioned it at the start of the video. The one I did in Chirk, I had quite a few thieves. The one that I did in Whittington, I had an attempted theft on my stall. Someone did steal something from Howard's stall. Like, Howard wasn't here this week, sadly. But someone did steal something from Howard's stall. He had to chase him around the car boot until eventually he caught up with him. And he was like, "Oh, sorry, did I not pay for that?" Like, blimey heck. This time, please don't turn the comment section into some sort of horrible pile on. I don't want it. God, here we go. I'm not a racist guy. I've come from an ex-basketball background. I used to be a comedian. I've mixed with many, many different colours, creeds, cultures. There was a... There was a certain type of person. I ain't going to do the accent. And what they say in sentences, I'm going to form it into full sentences. So I don't want to demean anybody. But there's a certain type of person that literally descended on that car boot. and it was horrible. I didn't realise at first. There's just me trying to be nice and trying to be pleasant. Even with the people that were trying to be like a bit scammy on the prices, I was trying to be pleasant, going, "Oh no, that's a fair price. You know, if you don't want to pay it, that's fine." Da, da, da. I had a box of stuff on the floor. Literally, this just shows you what my store was like. I had a box of stuff that's occasionally I get stuff that's not even worth it. You know, CX might give you a penny for it, and I don't want a penny, so I just put it in the box. And it just says free. Like, there's a DVD player in there for free. There was like a padded laptop bag, like, you know, a shoulder bag for free. There was all sorts of knickknacks all in there for free. And of course, like, people will dig through that. And so invariably they'd come up and go, "Oh, this is it, mate," even though it's got free written on the front of it. And you go, "It's free, yeah, have it, whatever you want." "You sure?" Yeah, have it, take it away. So again, I'm not going to do the accent. Somebody came over to the box. I did notice that there was two of them to begin with, and one of them was looking at me games, and one of them went straight into the free stuff. And I was sort of like, you know, I didn't want to be the guy that's sort of like the whole, "Oh, I don't trust this situation." But I just sort of thought, well, that's free stuff. I'll watch the person on the games. The person on the games was sort of like flicking through them, and I thought, all right, they seem genuinely interested in what's going on. You know, this lady looking through the free stuff just sort of said, "What's this?" And I said, "Oh, it's a torch." And I went back to watch the other person, and they said, "What does it do?" And I was like, "Well, it's a torch, you know, it just lights up." And she went, "Oh, it doesn't work." And I was like, "Oh, it doesn't have batteries in it." And she's like, "Where do the batteries go?" I was like, "You just unscrew the end, the batteries go in." And I was like, "It's like a beacon, and it's also like a torch. So have you got batteries for it?" I went, "No, I don't have batteries for it. It's a free torch. If you want it, it's never been used. It's in perfect order. It works. If you want it, you can take it." And she's like, "Can you show me where it goes and how to use it?" I was like, Jesus Christ. So she gives me the torch, and I'm sort of messing about with it, and all of a sudden she went, "No, it's okay." And I went, "Oh, right, okay." And I put the battery cover back on, put it in. Somebody else comes across and starts looking at my games, and I noticed as he flicked through it, one of my Mega Drive games had gone. Literally just vanished. So I was like, bum. I looked around, these two ladies had just gone. Nowhere to be seen anymore. So I was like, oh, blimey heck. So after that, I was in a grumpy mood, to be fair. So that probably didn't help. But everybody who come to my stall after that, if they were working in pairs, one of them would always go to like the free or lower cost stuff. The other one would always go to the expensive boxes. And I'd keep my eye on them. And when someone's going like, "What's this?" and they'd hold up a laptop bag, I'd go, "It's a laptop bag," and just stare at the person on the games. "What's it for?" And you go, "To put a laptop in." It's like, I was just doing that for the amount of it, and it's amazing how the person on the games would keep watching me and eventually just stop. Like it's almost as if like they'd go over the same game 2 or 3 times and then just stop. And I was like, blimey heck. So I spoke to the chap on the stall next to me. He said, "Mate, it happens all the time." He said, "I see people literally." He had all his stuff out on the floor on like sheets, and he had like a little table. But he said, "I see people dragging stuff towards them with their feet." He said, "And then they'll bend down pretending to look at something else, and they literally pick it up with their skirt. They pick it up with the skirt, waddle away, and it's like, it's gone." I was like, "Blimey now, that's bloody awful." And he said, like, no, he said, "It's a proper problem." He said, "I do these car boots all the time." And he said Chester is one of the ones where he doesn't really have that many issues. But even then, he said it's creeping into there. And he said this place is probably he probably isn't going to do that Mark Wheel one again. He just said it's just horrible. There's no policing either. You know, once you've paid your £5, you're on your own. There's nobody walking around looking at stuff. They're all just at the burger van getting cups of tea. So, well, I mean, what are we paying for? We're paying to just park on a field and get stuff robbed. But yeah, I noticed it all day after that. And I said, I'm not a racist man. I'm not a racist man, but it's horrible when that was what I was doing. I was just looking at people going, I'm going to have to keep my eye on these. And every single one. It was, and again, it's not everybody. I had some lovely Thai people come over. They bought loads of games. They were really sound. Like, I did a deal, like, but they were buying like, "Are you sure these are like £1 each or 3 for £2?" And I went, yeah. And I was like, "Just take them, mate. If you can help me out, I'll help you out." And they were buying a few. There's some lovely Asian guys. Like, yeah, it really, there was a nice mix of people there, but it was just sadly one particular type with incredibly bad English that were not there to buy. They weren't. They'd probably pay. I think you have to pay £1 to look round. They paid the £1, and they were going to get that £1's worth back in free stuff. And the sad thing was, I say I had a basket of free stuff. If they want to take stuff and try and resell it themselves, it's there. Take it. I know there's some value in that box full of free guff. Please don't take my expensive stuff. Please. Let me earn a bit of money. So resellers, I don't like you because you're trying to come to my store and you're trying to rip me off because you can't be bothered to get a proper job. I don't like that. But at least you're not thieves. Or maybe a few of you are, I don't know. But yeah, at least you're not thieves. That really, really, really rattled me. And this is going out as like a bit of an impromptu video. So I'm sorry if it upsets anybody, but sometimes the truth does hurt. And again, I don't want the comment section to turn into some sort of vile cesspit. But sadly, as bad as Vinted and as bad as eBay are, that's my choice now. I can't do car boots anymore. And I don't want to look around them anymore because I don't want to encourage that sort of behaviour. If that's what's happening, I don't want to be a part of it. Anyway, bit of a downer. Please do put comments in on your experiences, on your thoughts. Please keep them PG and don't be hateful, don't be nasty. But yeah, a very, very depressed Donald Mackerel for Donald Mackerel Gaming. See you all again. Cheers, everybody.